Hi everyone, my name is Matthew Wood, journalist at Africa Print and Sign Africa, and today I'll be interviewing Jermaine Naicker, Printing SA's KwaZulu-Natal Regional Manager for our Africa Print Live and Sign Africa Live platforms. So welcome Jermaine.
Hi Matt, thank you for hosting me on this live recording. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Jermaine, first question we have for today, what type of labor services does Printing SA offer and how do they compare against the market both in terms of quality and cost?
Matt, Printing SA is probably most renowned for its industry-leading and sound labor relations service offering. And the reason I say this is because many of our members, Printing SA is seen as a labor consulting organization, even though we know that's not what Printing SA is all about, as we have seen some of my colleagues articulate over the last few months. But over the years, Printing SA has invested a great deal of pride in its labor relations services, to the extent that we've broadened our skills pool of labor experts and increased our basket of services significantly. And that's all with the aim of further enhancing our labor relations service offering to our members. So each chamber across Printing SA, that's in the Western Cape, KwaZulu-Natal, Midrand, and Pretoria, they host a labor consultant within a chamber. And in addition to that, we have a strong external network of legal experts that consult for Printing SA and on behalf of us. So Printing SA has been successful in broadening the scope of labor relations consulting services that we offer to our members. And our labor services range from as small as perhaps drafting and issuing of warnings to as in-depth as going into dealing with strike actions. So if I make a color everything in between for you, and some of the labor relations consulting would include chairing or initiating disciplinary inquiries, counseling, conducting investigations, and evidence gathering, representing our members at CCMA and the Statutory Council in terms of conciliations, arbitrations, limine, hearings, our Section 189 consultations and 189A facilitations, the handling of short time, drafting of legal related documents. You know, it goes on, and these are just some of the main areas that we cover. From a pricing perspective, Printing SA has always maintained rates around about 35 to 40% lower than the market, and this being a key benefit for our members. We also do consult for non-members. However, their rates will be a lot closer to the market rates, even though it's still a bit lower. However, I must stress that this reduction in fee is not relative to the quality of work that we provide. Printing SA has over the years placed much emphasis on developing and expanding our labor relations consulting. Likewise, in the process, we've built a wealthy bank of resources that has been refined over a lengthy period of time to be of a high quality, used to service the needs of our members. I think if I had to end off on this question, a key differentiator of our labor services is that we use industry experts who have well-rounded knowledge of consulting within the industry for many years. This is a great vantage point when dealing with labor matters, as these experts understand the industry conditions, the climate, the jargon, the operations, etc. And it's these small nuances that we're in touch with that makes all of the difference with our labor consulting.
Thank you. On to our next question. COVID-19 saw a number of Section 189s being implemented in 2020. How did Printing SA assist their members with these applications, and what advice would you give members regarding the process?
Yeah, Matt, whilst everyone was on a hard lockdown, which was announced in late March 2020, our teams were hard at work to ensure that our members had the resources needed to supply essential service businesses. We saw ourselves working tirelessly even on public holidays, weekends, and as we can say that it was tiring and it required a lot of energy, it was certainly an exciting period of play for us where we could have boasted all of our resources to our members. And we certainly saw the silver lining where, we were able to articulate and assist members through this process. We had businesses in our industry that were in operation, and that is, your FMCG printing and packaging, your pharmaceutical printing and packaging, your healthcare printing, your logistics printing, and there's a lot more. And some of the things that we did assist them with was applications for tours And we also did quite a few easy user guides that they could, navigate their way through this here, through that process. We helped with the development of COVID-19 SOPs and checklists, COVID-19 risk assessment, assistance with return to work toolkits, guidance on UIF benefits, and various other labor-related assistance for COVID-19. We also did a very useful document with all our experience, and we encapsulated it in an FAQ document, a frequently asked question document. And a lot of our members benefited from that where they gained a lot of experience from. With the hard-hitting impact of COVID-19, many of our members embarked on small, large-scale retrenchments, salary cuts, and even short-time measures to salvage businesses. And, whilst we understand that this was a tough period of terrain to witness, we understood the plight from our members. Printing SA consultants have been actively engaging with all members nationally to advise them how to go about doing the necessary processes. We made use of electronic media, as well as, sometimes we had to jump in our vehicle and get to a business site and help them at their site with labor issues and retrenchment issues. The advice at first was that members should not choose the Section 189 process, but they should use the TERS funding that was available to them rather than retrenching. And, with the hope that business will improve over time. Unfortunately, we also knew that some businesses may not recover from this and they may go the retrenchment route. And at Printing SA, we always advised our members strictly to follow procedural steps in accordance with the Labor Relations Act when dealing with retrenchments. Whoever is going under a Section 189 process, we've always advised them to adhere to the law without deviation, but also to use well-experienced labor consultants when embarking on this process. Section 189 processes are not something where one can read the law and be able to go through the process. Experienced labor consultants have been through various processes and such. They understand the nooks and the crannies, the ins and outs of these complex proceedings. And therefore, it's always useful to have them because they're always able to bring to the table various solutions and techniques to handle technical and uncomfortable situations. Often in my parting shot, often businesses have substantively fair reasons when embarking on retrenchments, but are sometimes at a loss when it comes to procedural aspects. And this is where an experienced labor consultants like our team comes in. We also create that balance of being able to remain impartial and that voice of reason throughout, rendering the work or the employer walking the line of fairness with little to no risk. And lastly, there's nothing better than having an independent party presiding over proceedings. And that's where we come in with our experience in this aspect.
Thank you very much, Jermaine. And just a final question. In 2021, it is envisioned that the industry will still be under pressure. What advice can you offer to members in order to ensure that their labor-related issues don't become an additional burden on an already depressed environment?
It's actually an interesting question that you bring up, because just the other day, I read an article where a group of labor experts commented on the great deal of uncertainties that COVID-19 has created from a labor perspective. It's become an absolute minefield for employers where they've gone far beyond their depths in this respect. And sometimes labor, and most of the times rather, labor can be tricky, as people are complex in nature. And so is the law sometimes. And, the interpretation of the law can be convoluted. And therefore, seasoned and experienced labor consultants are in a better position to perhaps interpret, challenge, and articulate these law given under pressure circumstances. So it's always helpful to be part of a community where you're able to gain knowledge, insights, and would draw experiences from them. This is where your membership in Printing SA, is boasting in all its glory, because even when HR managers are overwhelmed and you don't have the expertise to pull yourself out of a deep water, this is where Printing SA's expertise will bring you out of that, because we have that depth of knowledge. And during this time, and even in the year coming up, like we've experienced nothing like we've experienced before, businesses need to focus on their core service offering. And sometimes labor issues can be prove to be the thorn in the flesh. And therefore, we encourage our members to start engaging with us on their issues so that we can guide them. one can put these, put this best in these words, in that it's no use having a bag full of tools when which you never even touch, even though you need it. And this is what Printing SA offers to our members. We are that bag of tools, and we're asking members to go and open that bag, pick a tool, ask us some questions, and start to see how much power is embodied in your membership of Printing SA. We are keen to hear from our members. So we encourage them to pop us an email, pick up the phone, call us. Also continue to visit our multifaceted website that is continually improving. We've got a members portal where they can go in and access resources specific to labor and also commercial and technical stuff. So, that's always another option for our members, and for non-members even. We look forward to hearing from them and welcoming them aboard. We have an exciting team that's ready to assist them, always on call. Thanks.
Well, thanks very much for joining us, Jermaine. That was very insightful. Catch the latest printing and signage news on www.africaprint.com or www.signafrica.com. To everybody else, take care and stay safe. Cheers for now.
Thank you.